Hello friends, welcome to Kavita's classroom. They say perfect market is the perfect market structure which exists because it determines that quantity which can be produced at max and the price is conducive to all. All means the producers as well as consumers, right? And that gives and ensures the maximum consumer and producer surplus. So what happens when there is any sort of government intervention? So let us check how the administered prices create some sort of problem or reduce the social benefits or surpluses and induce the social cost in the society. So let's understand the price ceiling and deadweight laws. So what happens in case of price ceiling? Let's talk about the basic structure of the perfect market. This is demand, this is supply. Equilibrium is determined here with the quantity here and the price here. I'm sorry for this wavy line, huh? So, and this price, right? This is origin X and Y axis where prices are denoted here and quantity at the X axis. So what happens in case of price ceiling? Price ceiling means government for the welfare purpose, welfare of those who are BPL, who are not able to have their basic necessities fulfilled in the life, right? So for their benefit, government tries to seal the prices at an upper limit of this price, means which is below the equilibrium prices determined by the market forces of demand and supply. Right. What happens then? Then at this price, we find a situation of a gap, and this gap is called excess demand. Why excess? Just see, it's very much clear from the picture that this situation at this price, when the prices are low, more people demand the things, but at low prices, the suppliers are less willing to supply. Hence, the supplies are reduced into the market, right? So it means the quantity traded in the market simply gets reduced to Q dash instead of Q, which is lesser than Q. Okay, so what happens? Now, if we try to check the consumer surplus, producer surplus here in this market, what happens? So this is the quantity traded, and this whole becomes the area, this area below this D curve, right? So this area, this whole dark area becomes the consumer surplus. Okay, consumer surplus now has been enhanced because earlier it was restricted to, in the perfect market where there was no ceiling, it was restricted to this level P, right? And producer surplus here is this much, which is now reduced. Now, where is the deadweight loss? This area, try and understand this shaded area, which is not tapped by anyone now. This is neither the part of consumer surplus nor the part of producer surplus because this much quantity has not been traded at all. So this dark area is the result, means the dead weight loss. This is the result of the price ceiling or the intervention done by the market. And this showcases the inefficiency in this market structure. On a very similar note, let's talk about what happens when we have a situation of price floor. Right. A very similar note here. This is the basic structure. So we have demand, supply, and this is the price and this is the quantity. So this price and this quantity is here, right? So what about price floor? Price floor means government, again, for the welfare of whom? Of welfare of the farmers and the producers, right? Tries to fix the price or administers the price which is over and above this market price at P dash. Right. So now at this price, what happens? The demand is less. So the quantity traded is less. Less quantity is demanded, though supplied is more. Right. So the market deals with less quantity here in case of price floor also. Right. So what about the consumer surplus here in this market form? Consumer surplus is reduced because now the consumers are paying higher prices. So the consumer surplus is this area, right? This area is consumer surplus. Had it been before this price floor, it would have gone down to this P area, right? But now it is this. And what about the producer surplus? Producer surplus has been enhanced from, this is the triangle, and now it's this also a part of producer surplus. Why? Because producers are now getting bit of extra prices. But again, the question remains the same, because now the quantity which is being dealt here is lesser than the perfect market situation. So there exists a triangular area, this triangular area, which is untapped. This untapped area goes to no one, neither the consumer, nor the producers, nor the government in any case. So, this dark area is the dead weight loss. Right. Here, the consumer surplus is this, producer surplus is this, and this is dead weight loss. Here, we have more of consumer surplus, less of producer surplus. Again, this dark triangle is dead weight loss. So, this simply talks about as and when government intervenes in the prices, in the quantity, there is always a deadweight loss in the economy, and that talks about the inefficiency of the market structure. Stay tuned for more videos, and I'm waiting for all your queries or doubts. See ya.